they had roads controlled with people in biosuits, and people go, well, who's going to try and take over the world? Well, when did I miss the memo? I mean, coming from a conspiracy theory world, which is what? Well, they're after a new world order. Well, we saw Australia in the lockdown. It was brutal, wasn't it? But the free speech thing hasn't gone. I think that's more intense in Britain.
Free speech in Australia and kind of like Australia in general?
Well, I mean, it's really all countries, isn't it? We'll look at it from the West, but it's a global phenomenon. I mean, coming from a conspiracy theory world, which is what? Well, they're after a new world order. There was their old saying of what? Well, it's global control, isn't it? Right. So I think they attack different countries in different ways to facilitate how that country's culture is. What are their weak spots? They're strong. What is it more? What are the things we can pop out of this culture first, but not that one? Let's do it differently. And so Australia's had well, we saw Australia in the lockdown. It was brutal, wasn't it? But the free speech thing hasn't gone. I think that's more intense in Britain at the moment than Australia. And why people can't work out that it's a global phenomenon is how come people don't notice that what? Well, how come there's stuff about feminism in Finland, Norway, Sweden, Canada, Australia, this stuff about homophobia in Sweden, Canada, it's in every country. It's, even when I was touring in Asia, I saw these Japanese women walking around with, feminine is the future, women are the future. It's like it's coming in there. I was in Vietnam, there was rainbow flags in Vietnam, right? And slowly, it's because it's a global thing, isn't it? And people go, well, who's going to try and take over the world? Well, when did I miss the memo that said empires have stopped? Did I miss that memo? I mean, I think people have been lulled into a false sense of security over their comfort and lack of major world wars and catastrophe in the West for 70 odd years. And they've kind of like, well, who would be doing this? Well, this is what I also think. People think, oh, it's the governments are doing this. Well, the governments are sold out, but I think why they've also make your governments against you so they don't eventually think it's all your government. But your government's not working independently, it's getting its orders from outside, because I believe the governments are in the crosshairs of eventually, because they don't want sovereignty, do they? And a government is it's the authority of a sovereign nation, isn't it? But ultimately, they want you. I think they'll want us to get rid of our own governments. Right. They'll be that, and then it'll come in like this. Someone will come in like they're on our side and go, yeah, let's get rid of these corrupt governments. But that's what they want us to do. Yeah, we'll get rid of them. And what are you going to fill these governments with? Well, we're going to fill them with a global, centralised government. So I can't even remember the question, but let's hope that.
The question was, how is the culture of free speech a general culture in Australia?
Australia. Yeah, right. Well, it's got the same flavour as the rest of we'll say the Western world. It's got the same flavour as the rest of the Western world.
Add on to that a little bit, then. Just give us your thoughts about how the Australian government dealt with COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, if you can give us that, because there was a section of COVID in the thing, isn't it? So if you could just give us your.
Well, I wasn't there, thank goodness, from watching it. It was just brutal. At least I was staying in North Manchester at the time. I was just wandering around, going down the park, hanging around, made a couple of video clips with me mate. But Australia seemed to have like whole board, sort of that they had roads controlled with people in biosuits and getting in cars tail backed for 15 kilometres while they checked everything. It was horrifying to me. So there, Australia was just. I was glad I was out of there. But this free speech thing, well, it's happening everywhere, This shutting down for our safety. As far as I'm concerned, if anyone who's not your relatives or your best friends is concerned about your safety, get away from them. Why are you concerned about my safety? Everything's about safety, isn't it? It's like when you get on the train. Oh, this is the 1305 from London Euston to Manchester, and your safety is our number one concern. Really? I think getting me to Manchester should be your number one concern, right? Because how are you going to protect me on here anyway? You're the train guy. If this train flies off the track at 220 miles an hour, the train manager's not going to do anything for my safety. We're all in the same boat here. So And I'm sure there's already safety precautions in place if you run a train, you know, so... But now it's like, well, that's our number one concern. Your number one concern should be lowering the price and get me to Manchester. That's what I want.
So basically talking about is virtue signaling, isn't it? It's
Oh.
about the whole world is filled with virtue signaling at the moment. So if you go somewhere, it's all about sustainable this and sustainable that, and we get from here, and we're carbon offset and all this kind of stuff.
You get sustainability and carbon offsets in hotels that call themselves green, but when I go in there, they've replaced all the teaspoons and the cups with paper cups and wooden sticks. But where's the teaspoons that last 1 million years? Where's the cups that archaeologists would find and go, what's a Holiday Inn? You know, now we've just got a paper cup. What I want to know is, where are all the teaspoons? Right. There must be billions of them somewhere.